Hello guys! Today we are gonna make ube Swiss roll. So basically we need ube jam, which I'll be making out of the ube powder that I bought from an Asian uh, supermarket. So first off we need to mix the ube powder and the sugar. This sugar is only 2 tablespoons, and then the ube is 2.5 tablespoons of powdered ube, and the cocoa milk is just 1/4 cup. And then we also need to mix the 1/4 cup milk. So we have to mix it all together before we put it in a pan over a medium heat. So that is the next procedure. So now I have a small pan, and then I'm gonna put the mixture of ube and the milk. So we're going to mix it or stir it over a medium heat for about 5 minutes. And after that, we can see the difference from liquidy to the desired ube jam texture. So we're on to the next step, which is the meringue. This is composed of the 5 egg whites that we are going to mix um, for about 5 minutes until we have achieved the frothy texture. Be gradually adding the sugar. This is um, this is actually 100 grams of sugar for the cake. So we have divided it into two, which is 70 grams for this mixture, and then 30 grams for the egg yolk mixture. So until we have achieved the smooth and creamy texture for this meringue, then we could proceed to the next step, which is the cake. So we are going to be needing the cake flour, 80 grams, or almost a cup of cake flour, and then a milk. This is 25 ml of milk. The ube flavoring, which is 1.5 teaspoon melted butter, which is 25 grams. This is the 30 grams of sugar. The ube jam that we made or prepared earlier, 5 egg yolks, and then a pinch of salt. So first I'm going to sift the cake flour just to make sure that there are no lumps in my cake. So next is the egg yolks plus the sugar. So we have to beat it until it achieves its light yellowish color and make sure that it's well blended. So next is the mixing or the combination of the ube jam, the milk, the ube flavoring, and the butter. You know, I love baking, but at the end of the day, after the process, it's tiring, but the end result is really, really yummy. As you can see, I'm enjoying baking a lot, so that's why I also want to share it with you. That's why every time I bake or try the ingredients or try the recipe for the first time, I make sure that I could document it and then proceed with filming it and trying to share my joy afterwards. So here is it. I'm so happy with the result, but there are a lot of things to be improved. Like um, I want a moist cake, but this one or this recipe didn't give me the moist texture. I think the one that is missing in this ingredients or the recipe rather is the baking powder and also the cream of tartar that I think would be suggested. Um, well, anyway, I'm gonna be doing that for my next trial. But this is actually my first ube cake roll in a sense, but I already made a ube cake before way back in the Philippines when I tried to bake one for my nanay. It was successful, yes. I achieved the moist texture of the ube cake. That was a round cake. So this was my actually my second time to make a cake roll. The first one that I made was the mocha Swiss roll. You could see it also in my channel. And this is the second one, which is the ube cake roll. So anyway, we are now in the next step, which is the combination of the flour mixture and the wet mixture, or the dry and the wet mixture. So we're almost done. We're just making sure that everything is well combined, especially here in the flour mixture. You don't need to miss anything because we don't want lumps here. So after this step, we are going to proceed with the folding of the meringue into this mixture. So let's go on. So we're now mixing the meringue and the cake mixture. So now this is ready to be transferred to this baking tray, which has parchment paper. So we just have to pour it in here. And then I have preheated the oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then my baking time was 12 minutes, but it was suggested that it's going to be 15 minutes. But I usually deduct 2 to 3 minutes from the suggested baking time from my recipe book because I don't want my cake to be over baked. So that's just my suggestion, but it really depends on your oven. So um, mine is just blowing things away whenever I copy the exact time from the recipe, but this works for me. So give it a tap so that we could release the bubbles from this batter. So I'm now gradually adding the butter, which is at room temperature as usual. So just make sure that the egg and sugar mixture is already at room temperature before you gradually add the butter because it's gonna melt with your mixture. So this is the most exciting part, which is the icing of the cake. So I am mixing the ube flavoring to the buttercream just to make a purplish icing or frosting to our cake. So basically, we just have to mix it until it's well combined, and then it's now ready for the topping. So I'm making the cream cheese frosting just to have a salty taste over the top of my cake. So I am preparing this 1/4 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of cream cheese, and then so we could now add up the 1 cup of the confectioner sugar. What I had here was 2 cups, but I only used 1 cup. So now we're ready. So since I ran out of the piping bag, I used my Ziploc for this step. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our Ube Cake Roll.